Hi, this is Irina Shea, and this is part of our Wealth and Wisdom series. Today, we're going to talk about how to choose an executor. So let's look at this. I'm going to share my screen with some ideas. Um, First of all, what is an executor? Okay, what is an executor? It's person who administers your estate at death and follows your will. So this is assuming, of course, you have an estate plan and that you've done a will. You're naming an executor to carry out the terms of that will. So typically, what is involved? An executor, probably their biggest job is to sell your house after death. What does that mean? When you die, you'll have financial assets, IRAs, brokerage, bank, checking savings, and a house. And they're all big jobs, but at least IRAs and life insurance pass by beneficiary designation. It's a matter of handing over a death certificate. But the other assets, notably the house full of your stuff, your contents, is the biggest and most stressful part of this job. So I would say that having someone local is ideal for that reason. What they'll often have to do is deal with the contents of your home, and they will have the beneficiaries, depending on what the will says, select, sell, donate, or discard items. That is a hugely overwhelming job. Okay. Typically, the executor is spouse followed by adult children. So it can be spouse, then child A, then child B, then child C, if child A is local and child B and C are not local. Or it could be, call that solo, or it can be joint. So you have two children, they live locally, they're both responsible. Name them as joint co-executors if your spouse is not living because they can job share, right? So this is the job share concept. All right. Also, your spouse may be older too, and they might not be up for the task of handling everything. Spouse may renounce or resign, as may a child. So if you name someone and 10 years later they're no longer living locally or they're having health issues or whatnot, they can resign or renounce. Just because you've nominated them in your will doesn't mean they have to serve. It's just your order of preference that they serve. What are other job requirements? Obviously, being trustworthy, organized, um, and, I'm going to say get it done type of people, right? There are people who, for various reasons, their personalities since childhood have been slow and overthinking or maybe underacting, right? These are not the people you want as your executor. You want your executor to get this done and not let your estate be administered over a period of years when it should have been done over weeks or months. Okay, so a get it done person, very, very important. Um, all right. There are people, solo seniors, who have no one. So if no family member um, available, look to friends, colleagues, attorney, accountant, or bank trust company. Those are your backup options. So look around. If it's not family, it could be these other people or an entity, a bank or a professional. These are your other options. Okay. What else? I think really those are the essentials for an executor. They're also going to have to file potentially final income tax return with your accountant, possibly an estate or inheritance tax return, but those are rare these days. Um, they're going to have to account for estate assets in and out on a spreadsheet. So, financial acumen important. So this is a job that might stress out a lot of people in your life. They may be smart people, but they are not oriented towards spreadsheets, for instance. Okay. And then nine, we'll just say very important to have a courtesy conversation with potential executors to see if they really want to serve or if they're available to serve. If they hesitate or they push back, it means change your lineup. And the last thought I'll leave you with is we're making best available choices. So it's never perfect. It might be A, then B, then C, then D. You're not really crazy about those options, but they are your family and they are the stakeholders and they are the beneficiaries ultimately. So you're going to make your best available choices. We also do free checkups in our office every 2 years. So if things switch around, we shuffle the deck. Often the change we see most frequently in years 5 to 10 after an estate plan is complete is the order of the fiduciaries. It's rarely a structural change to the actual plan of who will receive what. It's more often who will serve in the capacity of your fiduciary, executor, trustee, power of attorney. All those roles tend to get mixed up as people in your life shift around. So I hope this has been helpful. If you'd like to learn more, please go to our website, irinashea.com, click the Get Started tab. Our consultations are free of charge. Thank you.